Hello guys, let me show you how to make a cake without a mixer or an oven. This cake is so soft, yummy and pillowy. Alright, so stay to the end of this video. The first thing to do is to get a mixing bowl, then measure in your margarine. I used 3 of the sachet margarine showed in the video. Also, I measured in my sugar and then mixed with my turning stick. I would mix and mix and mix and mix. Okay, I had to employ somebody to help me with the mixing. While mixing, I measured my flour in a clean bowl and then added my baking powder. After the baking powder, I added the secret ingredients that would be in the recipe, alright, and then I weighed my eggs. Then I mixed again. My margarine at this point was light and airy. Okay, also another way to know your mixture of both margarine and sugar is done is when it starts falling off your turning stick, like so, like it is in the video. Now it's time to add in my eggs. I added my eggs. I will add it in 2 additions. I will not add the eggs at a time. Mix and add the last batch of the eggs. Now it's time to add in my dry ingredients. I would alternate the addition of the dry ingredients and the milk, making sure that the dry ingredients is the last thing I add into the mixture. That is, the flour, the baking powder and the other ingredients is the last thing that comes in. Here I added my flavor and then I will mix again until the batter is smooth and lush, smooth and very lush. Okay, you mix and mix until it is smooth and everything well combined. If you don't have a mixer, you have to do a lot of mixing with your hand. You might want to employ somebody to do that for you. After the mixing was done, I poured the cake into my cake pan already prepared, and this batter gave me 2 9-inch cake, 2 sizeable 9-inch cake. Okay, so without an oven, we'll be baking on the stove top. Look at the amount of gas outflow. Fire outflow from my gas. It's not too much, just low to medium heat. Okay, if you be baking with a charcoal, just use small amount of charcoal. There are 3 methods to bake your cake without an oven. The first method is the one I just showed. You find a stainless plate like so, like the one in the camera, and then place it in your pot like I did and place your cake pan on it, then cover. That's the first method. The second method is getting spoon and arranging them in your pot like I'm doing in the camera. You have to make sure that it is well arranged in such a way that it gives your cake balance inside the pot so that your cake will not tilt to one side. The third method is to pour salt into your pot and then place the cake pan on it, making sure that the salt does not come in contact with your cake batter. Now I'm going to stick with the first method. That method works well for me. It's what I like to use if I'm not baking with an oven. Okay, make sure that the lid of your pot is tightly secured to the pot itself so that air is not escaping. This was 15 minutes after I had placed the cake inside the pot. I just came to check. Please note that you are not to be opening your pot from time to time, okay, so that I can bake on time. And here our cake was done. After like 15 minutes, our cake was done, perfectly baked. One way to know that your cake is done is to get a skewer like this and dip it inside your cake. Check every corner. Most importantly, check the middle, because that's the part that bakes last. Yeah, another way to know is if your cake is done is when you see your cake detaching from the cake pan, like it is on the video. You know that your cake is done. Now look at our cake, perfectly baked. Okay, and look at that. Look how flat the top of the cake is. It was because the heat was not too much, and then I baked it with the right recipe. So there's a trick you can use to get your cake top flat like this. If you don't mind, you can check through my pages on it. Thank you so much for watching. Kindly like, share and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.